Well, the launch has just finished and former Prime Minister Bob Hawke was on his way out, so we just thought we'd grab him. Yeah, exactly. Now, Luke Foley, his slogan was a new approach.
Yep.
Look, Mike Baird and the Liberal Party are well ahead in the polls. Do you think Luke Foley's got a chance of becoming Premier in 28 days' time?
I do think he's got a chance because it has been shown, not just in Queensland but in Victoria, that the people are prepared to listen to arguments, and that was the speech that you've just heard was one of the very best speeches I've heard from an aspiring Premier of a state. It had values, but it wasn't just here are lovely values and lovely things. It was well thought through, specific promises to be funded, and the contrast with Mike Baird is very important. Luke did not in any sense abuse or denigrate the Premier personally. He just said his values were wrong. He's cutting education, cutting health, and supporting the further cuts that are being made by his good friend Tony Abbott in Canberra. He concentrated on setting up a new approach for New South Wales, and the people of New South Wales will, if they're really interested in the best interests of themselves and their children, will pay very great attention to Luke's speech.
But it's only 4 years since Labor in New South Wales were almost wiped off the political map in this state. It's quite a big comeback, and Luke Foley's only been in the job 8 weeks. People don't know him. How much does he have to struggle there and get through that?
Well, there's always the example of Queensland to look at in terms of the size of turnaround, but I think he deserves to win on the basis of what he's promising and the very constructive and moderate way in which he's doing it. And he's setting up these positives in the hugely important areas of education and health against the cuts of Mike Baird and of Tony Abbott.
Has the party learnt from its mistakes?
Yes, it has. It's learned. I mean, it's cleaned itself up enormously. I don't want to name names, but you know what I'm talking about. It's a new party, a clean party. As he said, it's got the most stringent integrity rules for members of any political party in Australia now.
And there's two key policy differences between Labor and the Liberals. Mike Baird wants to privatise the electricity assets. Luke Foley doesn't. How do you think that resonates?
Well, I think that will resonate well because he's saying that he's using the continued revenue from retaining the ownership of the assets, the electricity assets. That's an important part of being able to fund the very significant promises and commitments he's making in education and health.
And what about the Tony Abbott factor?
Well, the Tony Abbott factor is not. This is not just something that is playing politics. I mean, it's very, very practically relevant because Tony Abbott's brought in policies which have hugely cut funding in education and health in New South Wales. And Mike Baird has supported that, hasn't resisted it, and that's very important.
Bob Hawke, thanks for talking to us.
And my pleasure.